This story is brought to us from MSN.com. Now, we've seen plenty of videos, particularly on the TV show Cops, where people are kicking the back door or kicking the back window of a police car. You know, and they have to put them in a hobble. You know, they're like kicking the back door. How many times have we seen, or have you seen, the back door of the police car fly open? For me, that many times. Goose egg. I've never seen it. I don't know. Check this out. A Georgia woman having what her family described as a mental health crisis died Thursday after authorities said she fell out of a patrol car last week, even though, according to a policing expert, cruisers are always supposed to be locked from inside. And that's locally here. Whenever they go to open the back door to talk to the suspect, you always see them like fumbling in the front. They're unlocking the back door of a police car. Those things are locked. They put them in there and they lock it. Brianna Greer, 28 years old, was pronounced dead at Grady Memorial Hospital in Atlanta. It's being investigated by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, or the GBI. Greer had been in a coma since the encounter last week in Hancock County, roughly 100 miles southeast of Atlanta, her sister Lottie Greer said in an interview. They had to remove her ventilator after doctors told relatives that she was brain dead. And they decided just to remove the ventilator, and it's probably her wishes. In a statement, the GBI said an early investigation into the death shows that deputies arrested Greer and were taking her to the Hancock County Sheriff's Office when she fell out of a patrol car and sustained significant injuries. Now, they're not providing additional details about the circumstances of Greer's death, and said the investigation into the incident, which was requested by Hancock County Sheriff Terrell Primus, is ongoing. The deputies involved in the incident have not been identified. Well, of course not. They don't want their name out there. Not right now. A person who answered the phone at the sheriff's office declined to comment. Brianna Greer's father, Marvin Greer, said something went wrong and we want answers. Something went wrong and my daughter is gone. Yeah, something went wrong, all right. But this expert, Jeffrey Alpert, who's a professor of criminal justice at the University of South Carolina, said that he has never before heard of someone escaping from a police cruiser. I've never heard of it. And he said they'd lock those things with child locks so that prisoners can't escape. A child lock means you can't even open it from the inside. You can pull that handle all you want. So either they didn't lock the doors, someone screwed up, or they be lying. Now, Marvin Greer, the father, said his wife called authorities on the night of July 14th because their daughter, who was diagnosed with schizophrenia nearly a decade ago and was medicated for the condition, was having a mental health crisis. He also says allegedly she used illegal drugs to cope. Anything to cope with schizophrenia. He said during previous similar episodes, ambulances were dispatched and she was cared for in a medical setting. But last week, 2 deputies came in a patrol car instead. Marvin Greer recalled telling the officers she needs help. Well, they helped her in the worst way. He told his daughter told the deputy she'd been drinking, Marvin recalled. So one of the deputies said they would detain her for intoxication until the morning so she could get medical attention. Why didn't they just take her to the hospital like that? She'd been drinking, but she wasn't breaking the law, was she? At home, she's having a mental breakdown. Before the car left, Marvin Greer watched the deputies handcuff his daughter and place her in the vehicle's back seat. So according to the father, she was handcuffed. Okay, so nix that story about her opening the handle unless she turned her back and I got the door handle. That's if they didn't lock the door. Still, that's their fault. They're supposed to lock those doors when they put people in the back of the patrol car. At roughly 6 a.m. on July 15th, the next morning, Marvin said an officer came to the family's home and said that Brianna kicked the door open and jumped out of the patrol car. She kicked the door open. See, now they're saying, according to the father, the police allegedly told him they kicked the door open and jumped out of the car. Not she pulled the door handle. How many times have you seen people kicking on a police car door and it flies open? Come on. What are we, stupid? She suffered a head fracture and was airlifted to Grady Memorial. Her father recalled the officer saying. Now, authorities provided the family with no other details about what happened, and they have not heard from investigators in the days since. And you won't hear from investigators until they get their narrative right. Got to get that narrative right. Don't want the taxpayers paying for a lawsuit, right? I hope this family gets paid well. Sorry, taxpayers, but I hope they get paid well. Because this one sucks. Her sisters, her brothers, her babies, we need answers, Marvin said. We want to know the truth. She leaves behind 3-year-old twin girls. She was a mother of twins, 3-year-old. But the thing that gets me, kicked the back door open and jumped out of the... What the... Really? This girl who's handcuffed kicked the police car door open. I'm stuck on that. What do you think?